Alright bro? In this video, I'm going to talk about the dangers of self-doubt and what you can do to overcome it. Now you might not think that this is much of an issue, but have you forgotten how shit it feels when you want to ask a girl out but you stop yourself because you're scared of her rejecting you? When you see a job that you really like the look of but you don't apply for it because you don't think you've got what it takes? Or how shit it feels when you want to travel the world but you're too scared to get out of your own room and out of your comfort zone? Well, these are all examples of self-doubt. And this, in my opinion, is the biggest obstacle you will ever face when trying to achieve the shit that you want to achieve in life. And that's why I would seriously advise you to watch all of this video so that you can learn how to overcome it. So first of all, let me try and share a lesson with you that I learned from my own life that will hopefully help you to not make the same mistake. As remember, wise men learn from their mistakes, but wiser men learn from the mistakes of others. When I was at uni, I think I was about 19 or 20 at the time, there was this girl that I really liked. She was pretty, she was funny, she was caring, proper girlfriend material, to be honest with you, bro. We would talk on our phones, we would send each other Snapchats, and we'd meet up, etc, etc. Looking back, she was quite clearly into me as much as I was into her. But the one thing I didn't do was take initiative. I never showed her any assertiveness, and I never made any serious moves and showed her that I liked her. Why did that happen? As I said, it wasn't that I didn't like her, it was quite simply because at that period of my life, I had no belief in myself and I doubted myself with everything. I even doubted that she liked me. And trust me, bro, she liked me. I remember the eyes. She was definitely into me. She showed me all the signs that she could have possibly showed me as a female. I just didn't hold up my end of this masculine and feminine dynamic. I doubted myself and the situation so much that I guess everything just kind of slowly fizzled out. She got bored probably, and some other lad just swooped on in and said thanks very much. Obviously now it's been a few years since all of this happened, but sometimes I do wonder, like, you know, what would have happened? What if this or what if that? That is something you don't want to have, bro. One of the worst things you can feel as a man is the feeling of regret. The main route of how you can avoid all of that is by not doubting yourself. That's where all of this stems from. And this isn't just about getting with girls. This is applicable to all areas of life. You want to increase your chances of getting that job? Remove self-doubt. You want to get jacked in the gym? Remove self-doubt. You want to achieve your potential in life and provide for your parents? Remove self-doubt. You want to feel more positive? Remove self-doubt. People that don't have any self-doubt aren't just magically born in that way. It's something that they work on, whether it's directly or indirectly. They're working on it and they improve themselves. This is a skill. And this is a good thing because it means we can work on it and we can get better at it. But how exactly do you do this? And I'm going to show you on this presentation. I'm not going to give you some rubbish that you'll read online or find some other guys talking about, like, you know, practice some self-compassion or fucking find validation from within. Like, what the hell does that mean? That's not good for anybody. I want to try and word this in a way that is completely understandable to you. That is why I've made this presentation. I've seen this other guy on YouTube who calls himself the CEO of testosterone, and I find that it really helps people absorb what he's saying. So I guess I've kind of just taken some inspiration from him with this one. The best way that you can actually remove self-doubt is literally by proving to yourself that you are able to do the things that you have doubts about. And I know that might sound obvious, but let me give you some examples. I used to have doubts about me being able to protect myself and the people I care about if I was to ever be in a situation where I needed to fight. And I used to feel easily intimidated by other men. As soon as I jumped in the ring and I boxed against somebody who was actually in there and trying to hurt me, those doubts very quickly went away. I used to have doubts about me never finding a girl, but then when I eventually started talking to one and then actually got one, those doubts went away. I used to be super skinny and I had doubts about me never being able to gain muscle, but then as soon as I started bulking and eating the right amounts of foods and hitting the gym consistently, I started to see some gains. and then those doubts went away. You see where I'm going with this? In order to remove self-doubt, you have to directly do the thing that you are doubting yourself about. I understand that hearing that might seem quite intimidating, there's no denying that, but there's no reason why you can't break it down into smaller steps. You don't have to look at the bigger picture. A lot of the red pillars will tell you to just stop being a pussy and to just do it, etc., and all that stuff. But I personally don't think that's particularly useful to everyone. Even for me, I don't really like biting off more than I can chew, so I take smaller bites of shit that I can actually handle until I eventually get to where I want to go. A friend of mine from my hometown used this strategy as well. He wanted to travel the world and visit all of these different countries and all of these different cultures, but he'd never even been on a plane before, so he was literally petrified to actually leave the country in the first place. In order to build up his confidence, he travelled to countries for short weekend holidays. So for example, he'd travel to France with his workmates for a weekend, and then a month later he would travel to Spain with some of his family for a weekend. And eventually he had so much confidence that he was able to do it all on his own. I think he ended up travelling for 3 years on his own all the way around Asia or something like that. To do something you are afraid to do and to do something that you are having doubt about, just break it down and it will become a lot more manageable. So yeah, the unsexy answer pretty much is to just do it, bro. The last thing you want is to have regrets, especially when it's too late. One quote that I really find inspiring and motivating is this one from a female poet called Susie Kassem. Don't know how you pronounce it. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. And honestly, mate, I couldn't agree with this anymore. Don't let it happen, bro. Don't let some bullshit doubts that have been made up in your mind to mess with your life. Now believe you can, and you're more than halfway there.